Hi, I'm Kat, and this is our Daily Tarot. The opening card that we have for today is the Two of Wands. The challenge that we are working with showed up as a major arcana, so we're working with some kind of life lesson that's posing a challenge of sorts via the Judgment card. The way we're going to get through the challenge is the Four of Wands, and then the ultimate outcome that we have for today is the Queen of Pentacles. So there's some energies showing up that are speaking to how we work with our will and how we work with our, like where we put our energy and our effort. You know, having this opening card of the Two of Wands, some of us may feel like we're being pulled in two different directions. We have one wand that is kind of wanting to forge us ahead in some project that we've been wanting to put our energy toward. And then we also have this wand appearingly bolted to the wall behind us. And so there's this kind of dualistic energy that's pulling us in two directions. One that wants to move forward and one that has to take care of things that we have had, that we agreed to take care of in the past. And this energy is keeping us from really being able to put our will into what that which we want to actually build in our lives. So whenever this Two of Wands shows up, it's speaking to the necessity of us having to tend to those things that are still on our list so that we actually have the freedom and capacity to put our energy and effort towards what we want to develop and feel called to move toward. The challenge that we have showing up for today is the Judgment card. So anytime a major arcana shows up, there's some life lesson that we're working with. And the Judgment card represents the planet of Pluto. And right now, Pluto is in retrograde in Capricorn, and it's in a trine relationship with Venus. Something that I just want to put a few words to in reflection is that in the beginning of 2020, we had what's called a stellium in the sign of Capricorn. And that just means, you know, it's a fancy word for a grouping of planets that is all within a really close proximity by way of degree in a certain astrological sign. So if it's two planets coming together, it's a conjunction, but if it's more than three planets, it's considered a stellium, right? It's a lot of energy, really powerful energy, all coming together. And during that time, I almost saw it as like this circular seesaw, and there's 12 different pieces of the pie, and we had a huge weight in one particular piece of that pie, which created an imbalance globally in our living realm because all of this energy was put in the sign of Capricorn. Now, when you consider the sign of Capricorn, it is a sign that is representative of social order. And that's, you know, on the social scale, but on a personal scale, it's how you show up to other people and your reputation in front of other people, your career and your life path, or the legacy that you leave behind. And so in the beginning of 2020, right, in January, we had all of these planets in Capricorn. And granted, all the planets have different energies. And so, you know, it's like having 5 of your friends in one room, and some of them have really strong energies that create a lot of change, and some of them are, you know, communicators, and some of them, you know, bring in the energetic of relationship and exchange. And so we had all these 5 planets sitting in the sign of Capricorn. And historically, whenever that has happened, there's been a lot of change globally. So it's important, I think, to reflect on that, because over the last couple of years, some of us have taken it really personally, like the changes that have happened in the world and also how that has landed in our own personal lives. And we've shaken our fist at the sky, right? And yet these changes actually provide an opportunity. They provide a chance for the unknown to be actualized. And you know, we have this tendency to fear the unknown because it's dark and scary out there. But it's also actually kind of dark where we are right now because we don't see everything. And we can't see beyond what we know. And so when we have these big changes and these big shifts happen, it's like opening a door that allows a lot of light in, and we see things in a new way. And so what we see happening in this card is these three figures that are being called out of the darkness, and they're being called into a new experience. It's as if they're realizing something greater than what they had ever actually understood. And I think in a lot of ways, that's what we are working with right now, particularly because Venus is in this trine relationship to Pluto and bringing an understanding and compassion to it as she is in close proximity to the North Node, which is kind of giving us this direction in regard to where we are developing this lifetime. But it's a challenge, right? It's a challenge to see things differently, to open up your perspective, to welcome in something that is outside of what you are certain of. And I'd argue that beyond our certainty is possibility. And that certainty is actually quite limiting. And so whatever certainty these folks were sitting in, which gave them the confines of their existence, they're being called out of so that they can transform. And in the last couple of years, I think we've all been going through it in a lot of ways and considering what is being called out of us to become. It's some big work, yo. So the way that we're going to get through the challenge came in as the Four of Wands. So we have two wands. It pulls us in two different directions. But when we have four wands, it's like putting stakes in the ground on a tent. It gives you stability. It gives you a structure. It gives you safety and security. And it's asking us to stabilize our will and to stabilize our efforts and to give it some kind of structure, because it will help us to get through and to have some kind of peace and anchor during the time of transformation that we're all going through. The ultimate outcome that we have for today is the Queen of Pentacles. She's also speaking of the energy of Capricorn being a cardinal earth sign. And as I had mentioned earlier, the sign of Capricorn and also the Queen of Pentacles is speaking to our life path, our legacy, what we're actually learning and experiencing over the course of our life, not just 1 year and not just a job, right? Not just being a sister or a mother or a brother or a father, but the whole thing. Right? If you know someone who is at the age of 70 and they can look back on their life, it is full of so many rich stories that bring quality and something of true nurturance to other people outside of just what one acquires, right? Like we see that there's this woman sitting on this bench with a huge coin in her lap. And it makes us question, is life all about the stack of coins that we acquire? Or is it about something different? Is it about something else that we put value to that actually gives us a sense of richness from what we've experienced in life? And that's really what the coin is. Our beliefs, our values, and what we truly treasure. And I think the reading today is asking us to put things in perspective And if you feel really identified with something that's happening right now, take a couple steps back and see how maybe that experience is helping to shape you for something that you are walking toward. Because we're all on the journey and we're still all in becoming. I send you all a lot of love and a good wish to get through your day. I hope you are well and are staying well, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now. Mwah.